Everyone, and welcome to BattleFY Week 11 Finals. This is match 2 of the series. Bringing us forward, I do have with me the one, the only SuperBadJuju, not Style Shampoo, despite the fact that I keep habitually saying it. It is SuperBadJuju who's going to be going forward. Score is currently 1-0 in favor of free agents. We're going into the match now, who do we have playing right now?
Right now, it's Veracor on Kraken. Going against Mini CP, there was another person from Dome Destroyers. Was it Viajeff? Viajeff, I believe.
Yeah, it was Viajeff. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's once a dated monster versus free agents is the teams at the moment. Trying to remember who else is on the team there because the bottom covers it up when I was watching there for a sec.
Yeah. So it's Vatcap, 2 Balance, Viajeff, and Mini.
Yes. Yeah.
So and of course playing Monster 4. Is Veracor, who's going to be going with the Savage Kraken skin. He is playing for Once a Dated Monster, who, if you guys haven't watched match number 1, go back into the playlist and check that out. You will be able to see what exactly occurred. We're not going to spoil it for you. You have 3, 2, 1, and it's currently 1-0 in favor of Once a Dated Monster, in case you missed it on the score overlay. 1-0 in favor of Free Agents versus Once a Dated Monster, which means that there was some epic play coming out of PH Keith, who's playing Monster for the Free Agent team. But we'll have to see what goes on with Veracor. So, what do you think of this matchup with this composition? It is going to be a Val, Sunny, Jack, Torvald.
Yeah, it's just straight up cancer comp, you just swap Jack for Griffin, both of them work in the cancer comp, but it's tough to get away from. And on this map, luckily, at least this area, there's a lot of areas where Veracor can break line of sight, but if 2 Balance is good on Jack and they work with Viajeff, it's going to be a nightmare, a total nightmare for Veracor.
Yeah, and it's going to be definitely interesting to see what happens, because he's going to have Mini right there, who's well known for being able to land his long-distance abilities despite his age. For those who didn't know, that Mini CP is actually 17, and he's playing Evolve with the best of them, those of us that have been playing for a long time now. Mini's been around, and he's definitely earned his stripes going forward. Veracor, however, is doing some very interesting pathing, going directly west and hooking towards the building. Wants to get his stage 1 in an area where he is able to mitigate, which is a very interesting choice.
Yeah, it's a tactic we're starting to see a lot more often now with monsters trying to evolve near things that give them loops so that they can, dance around in the event that they are captured.
Yeah, and they're going to be able to keep, pushing forward. And you'll notice that he's looping around this pillar. All right, I'm going to put it on the map because it's easier to explain. There's a little pillar right here that he's right in front of. And the reason why he's doing it is because if he throws the dome, he'll have both sides to mitigate on, and he wants to be able to protect himself from it. He's also using it to possibly split the Hunter team into 2, which will force them into a possibly bad position, which will give him the advantage. Like right now, he can juggle Vatacab and then stealth pounce him, which is what we just saw right there, which forces them in, and 2 Balance is going to jump in, try and break it, as he does get the personal shield, which means right now he can back off, but no, not anymore. Dome is now thrown. Does he have the loop?
Tight
maybe.
Fit, tight fit. Squeeze,
maybe.
Suck it in.
Lose some weight, Kraken. There you go. He's in, and that means he has the full loop, and this is what we were talking about. Because he's able to lock that in. But we are on first dome, which means we get to look.
Oh, yep, let's peek. Typical. It works, it's a utilitarian starting build. You got good feeding, good farming rather, and in the event that people want to mess with you, you got 3 abilities to harass them with. 1-point abilities have become kind of the standard. Before you used to dump all your points into 1 or 2. Now it's worth it. You put 1 in, you get a good ability. The damage is reasonable.
Yeah. So. And we're also noticing that it is cooldown recharge, so he's going to have 1 point in each ability, which makes it all the more valuable when you have that CDR perk that you're splitting it up, as opposed to just going damage or something like that. We see Vatcab and capacity, which means he's going to be able to go in. Viajeff does have quick switch, so he's going to be able to throw out that Sunny drone nice and quick every single time and get out those boosts whenever it's needed. Capacity on Jack, which means more of those repulsors, and we see damage reduction on Mini, which means he's going to be a very, very durable Val.
Yeah, that's something we're seeing a lot more often now, damage reduction on medics. But originally no one really messed with it. It's 10%, whatever, but over time I think people have come to realize that, even if it's a sliver of health, being alive is being alive, and it's worth it.
Staying alive, staying alive.
A little bit of BGs.
I won't hit that note, I'm not even going to try.
Just gotta punch yourself in the nuts pretty hard, you'll hit it. Oh man, you're going for the evolve here. This is, you know what he's gonna do? I bet he's gonna go aftershock and try and wreck him in the cave.
Oh wait, did he lose?
What? Did they?
Oh my god!
What is happening right now? Balance, do you have your headphones on backwards?
I think maybe. Because he was like right there and it was just like, and left turn.
Oh, Beetle's coming in hard.
But they got him now, yeah. They got Varicor in the caves. Maybe it was just that he wanted to see if they could pull him out of the caves because they don't want to fight him in here. Yeah, and they realized they have no choice. Okay.
They probably saw what happened last game and they're like, nah, screw that cave game. We ain't down with that.
We ain't down with that. Surprise, mother bugger.
He's got a lot of loops in here, which is nice. You know, it's gonna be on his terms, and it's a lot of. This is a good area to fight a Sunny in. You know, a lot of places you can push people so that they will not be protected by that dome.
Oh yeah, and you also have the tight quarters of the Aftershock and everything else that's coming up. This is basically the perfect scenario for Varicor, but he's getting melted through with all this little armor. But he's getting a double Aftershock coming in, Varicor, and everyone else is taking damage from. Vortex is used to clear up not only Vadcab, but also the shield drum. Gonna be forcing Lightning Strike, does connect on Mini. Mini's getting low, needs to pop that heal burst in order to keep himself alive. Banshee Mind Toss gonna be looking in VejaJeff's gonna be looking to protect him, does eat in the face. Heal burst is now used, which means VejaJeff and Mini just got healed. But the Reavers over here, the little monkeys, are going in to cause a little bit of trouble and give Varicor a little bit of armor. Two balance though on point and making sure he does get that pistol damage, and Lightning Strike doesn't connect as he does get boosted by Sunny. Here comes the Lightning though. Aftershock comes down, drops right down on VejaJeff. One no-man Vortex actually. It's just they all split and did it perfectly as they split up.
And that dome dropped just in time too, because I mean, you know, you would think that Torvald wouldn't be as effective in a cave, but the truth is, if he hits the ceiling, that explosion is going to blast back and hit the Kraken. So it actually was pretty deadly for Varicor in there, and it looks like he got out just as his armor was dropping.
Yeah, and it basically was a perfect dome for Varicor, and we saw that this team is the force to be reckoned with as they were able to mitigate, and basically a perfect scenario for Varicor, making sure they didn't lose a single strike. This is actually just coming down to just how good these players are in jetpack management. They're going forward, making sure they're not too clumped up, dodging the abilities right when they need to, and they're doing everything they can to keep themselves protected.
For sure, for sure. And look, Varicor in that fight back there looked like he was having trouble deciding who to focus. You know, there's a lot of spread damage back there.
I don't know. I think this time we're probably going to see him, because he didn't have much maneuverability to work with. As much as it's close quarters for all his abilities to connect, it's hard to focus down one particular person because of all the pillars and all the drops in terrain. But here we go. We're going in. Balanced, getting slapped around with some Aftershock loving. Two Balance is getting rocked as he's just going to be eating those Banshee Mines. Another Banshee Mine gets thrown, but does get pulled over the Vadcab. Boost coming out from VejaJeff. Going to be trying to keep it up. Minis, though, bringing everyone up to full health as they're just trying to get on the pursuit. We should... To be honest, I'm surprised we haven't seen all that many Tranks going forward.
You know, I agree. You know, we're not seeing Kraken glowing, and you know, maybe it's just because Varicor's been so busy sending like Banshees and Vortexes and all that back. You know, they're on the healing and keeping them busy there.
He's just pumping out damage, and well, it does look like Mini has no choice but to heal the damage, because if he goes into Trank, well, that's going to be some hurt. So.
Absolutely, yeah, and this is one of Mini's better roles. You know, I've seen you know, his team put him on assault sometimes and stuff. Mini's pretty decent on support and medic, but it looks like he needs to be there right now because Varicor taking a little bit of a beating.
Varicor dealing it out and just rocking around Vadcab as Mini right now is getting in position, and it's like he heard us as he's just going through getting that headshot damage, and here comes the boost coming out of VejaJeff. Does connect, and a quick heal burst is going to bring him up, but he doesn't have it anymore. And here comes the Aftershock connecting on two. Vadcab going to be taking that to the face along with Mini, trying to get the finish on the assault because he knows he doesn't have the personal. He just used it. He wants to get this down quick because that makes the assault all the more squishy, and down goes Vadcab as he just gets juggled in the corner, but this is an extremely tight dome. Are they going to be able to keep it up, and he's just trying to get the res. Here comes the Aftershock to keep that body down, and they're going to be resing from the range as Mini's doing what he can. Here he goes. Two Balances moving in, trying to get some pistol damage, but it's not quite enough as the Lightning Strike comes in. Here comes the Aftershock dropping down on the drone and Mini. Going to be connecting to both. Vadcab's getting low. He's at half HP. VejaJeff is right now getting up more shield drones, trying to see everything he can. Mini is right now using that heal gun, trying to keep up that corpse from distance because the Kraken can just interrupt. Mini's doing all the healing. Vortex is being used in the body. Everything's being thrown in the body, trying to make sure that Vadcab does not come out. Personal shield is now used, which means he's going to be all the more durable. He's getting healed up quickly by Mini, trying to see what he can get away with. We should be seeing a heal burst on that corpse in just a minute. VejaJeff is right now just Mini nuking away. They are through all the armor down to a bar of health. down to only a couple bars remaining, only about 6 and a little bit of change. Here comes a range pickup, though. Going to be looking at Aftershock, going to be keeping that course on the ground. Mini's just keeping up the range pickup. BattleFY, however, was unable to protect the course with the shield drone, which means down goes Batcab, and it's just the 3 now versus the Kraken. Aftershock's being used, and I only have so much air in my lungs, but BattleFY is keeping going. The damage is unreal, just pumping it forward. This is the long fight as they're going in, going home, trying to get everything they can. Lightning Strike being used, connects on Mini, but quick heal burst is going to bring him back up. Vortex is used, bringing up everyone, and they're just boosting everyone, trying to protect themselves as much as possible. We're going to see another Aftershock dropping in, connects on Mini and 2Balance, making sure everything else is going to keep going. Boost is used, keeping Mini alive and keeping him. We're going to see the Repulsor being used. 2Balance is getting hit by a Lightning Strike. Everyone's getting hit by. It's just not enough. He's landing everything, but everything is not going to be enough. But he will get Mini down soon, which means they're going to be almost out of heals, and down he goes. But he does a quick boost, which means it's going to be cloak time from BattleFY, trying to make sure that that body stays protected. They're down to just 4 bars of health, just trying to finish it. Dropship's coming in just under a minute, as right now he is Aftershocking on the low ground, which means he's not going to be able to drop down on BattleFY. BattleFY's on the run, trying to keep himself alive. Lightning Strike's going to be coming in for the finish, which means it's down to 2Balance, who's on the run right now, and Barracor's in hot pursuit. It's now 56 seconds remaining on the dropship, and he has to make a choice. Does he finish off the bodies, or does he go for 2Balance?
Man, that was intense, that fight back there. You know, like, you're running out of air because that fight was the same thing over and over again. And you notice that? He was just cycling through abilities. They were doing the same thing, and bit by bit he was chipping them away. But it was the same thing. Mini healing, you know, Trapper shooting them there, and it's just the same thing over and over and over.
And he's just trying to get everything he can to do, and Varicor just coming in dealing lots of damage. Just now I have some air in my lungs so that I can breathe. And suddenly we're looking at the damage done. It just melted through as soon as Vatcab went down. Their damage was just not enough to keep Varicor from being able to punish it, and it was just non-stop damage.
Yeah, because, I mean, that fight there is the same thing. It happened every time. It was Mini's healing, 2Balance shooting him with the pistols. Sunny was just continually keeping drones out, occasionally shooting, mostly, you know, just trying to support the other 2 people, keep them out of the aftershocks. And then Varicor would come down with the aftershock, maybe get someone, maybe not. Back up, continue beating on the body. They're healing, you know, getting shot. It was just the same rotation through,
that
like,
was
what,
very
6?
rhythmic, and I would agree with that 100%. And it definitely went forward, and we're looking at it, and it's just nonstop beat of the drum, music. It's almost like it was a symphony just watching those games going forward. But we're going into the next match right now, and we'll be back in a minute with more games coming at you. It is time for that quick fade in, fade out for the sake of editing, and we'll have more games coming at you in just a minute. Stay tuned, stay awesome, stay frosty.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
That it was just crazy watching it, you know, because he was slowly making progress there, like bit by bit, but it was the same rotation from everybody. They just, you know, Mini moves in close, moves far away. When the aftershock comes, close, far away.